Hi, it's late Tuesday afternoon and I'm standing in Broad Street in front of a structure that I noticed probably when I was videoing about matriculation. It looks like a wooden cage with some sort of conifer branches on the roof. It's actually a structure called a Sukkot, and it's part of the Jewish festival of Sukkot, which this year runs from Wednesday the 16th to Wednesday the 23rd. So let's have a look at it first, before the light gets so bad that we can't see it. I'm on the north side of Broad Street, so I'm facing away from Balliol. I'm facing south. Happy Sukkot, Festival of Booths. And the web address given, the paper's folded round, so you may not be able to see it. The web address is www.oxfordchabad, that's Oxford and then CHABAD.org/Sukkot. That's SUKKOT. www.oxfordchabad.org.Sukkot. And just to say, I'm pronouncing that as if it was spelling an English word, so that it's easier to understand, but I believe it's more likely to be pronounced something like Chabot. And the roof has those on it, some sort of conifer. Are they cypress branches? And there's at least one plant potted. Let's have a look inside. So there's an advert, and they're not adverts, they're little honey sachets. There are honey sachets from Rouse, which is the British honey company that has products in all the supermarkets. There's this, which I suspect is a traditional offering or decoration. I've seen people carrying them outside the synagogue. There are two more potted plants. That's the roof from inside. The branches are hanging through the roof, which may be part of the design. There's some Hebrew on that. I can't read Hebrew, so I don't know what it says. Now I know that an esrog, I think an esrog is a kind of lemon-like fruit. So that is probably that. And I would guess that the lulav is the other thing. It's the green thing. And here's an explanation. Sukkot, the Jewish festival of booths and rejoicing. On the 15th day of the 7th month, when you gather the produce of the land, you shall celebrate the festival of the Lord for 7 days. Every resident among the Israelites shall live in booths, in order that your descendants should know that I had the children of Israel live in booths when I took them out of the land of Egypt. Leviticus chapter 23. The Jewish festival of Sukkot, brackets tabernacles, is both a harvest festival and a commemoration of the miraculous divine protection after the exodus from Egypt. The sukkah is a temporary structure with unfinished organic material as its roof. It reflects the temporary nature of our physical existence and our reliance on the divine. During this joyous festival, festivities take place in the sukkah, and each day we recite a blessing over 4 types: an esrog, citron fruit, a lulav, palm branch, 3 hadassim, myrtle twigs, and 2 aravos, willow twigs, representing the produce of the land, unity and blessings. Learn more about Sukkot, www.oxfordchabad.org/Sukkos. So what I had gathered about Sukkot already is similar to that. The word sukkah is Hebrew and usually gets translated as booth, or on that script, tabernacle. The plural of sukkah is sukkot. Sukkah is a feminine noun, I believe, and some of them pluralize with ot. So the plural of sukkah is sukkot, booths, and Sukkot with a capital S is the festival of booths. To my mind, booth is not quite the right translation. In English it has a rather ill-defined, vaguely commercial meaning, and perhaps small temporary hut is a better translation. I understand that the temporariness of it is important, it's a key aspect. Sukkot are not supposed to be permanent. On the other hand, festival of small temporary huts might not sound so good. And I want to emphasise that it's booth and not boot. When I first was introduced to Sukkot, I misheard the word as festival of boots, and I was quite surprised not to see any footwear or over-the-counter flu remedies on offer. Festival of booths. And as I understand it too, Sukkot celebrates 2 main things. One is the harvest, so as they say there, it's a sort of festival of agricultural thanksgiving. And the other is a commemoration of the period during which the Israelites were wandering in the desert after Moses led them out of slavery in Egypt. Some sites also say that the Sukkot also symbolises the shelters that the Israelites lived in while they were in the desert. But a sukkah is not supposed to be an exact replica of those shelters. The actual desert shelters would have been tents or whatever suited a nomadic life best. But the Sukkot are symbolic of these. And there are specific religious rules that prescribe how Sukkot must be constructed. For example, a sukkah has to have at least three rules. A sukkah has to have at least three walls and a roof that's made of only natural, unprocessed materials. I'm not sure whether the roof has to be branches or whether other types of natural material are allowed. I have to say this is a particularly nice sukkah. It seems to be sturdy and well constructed and rather elegant. The Oxford Chabad Society webpage on High Holidays and Festival programme says that the sukkah I'm looking at was designed by a chap called Brian Simcox. So congratulations to him as a designer. He would have followed the religious rules, of course. There are probably rules about how to decorate Sukkot as well, which I guess is where those potted plants come in. There was a grand Sukkot celebration in Broad Street on Sunday, and I'm rather annoyed that I missed it, but it rained virtually all day and it wasn't really practical for me to film anything. The page, the Chabad page that I've just given the title of, did say that there'd be a sukkah decorating stall at that festival, so presumably selling the allowed materials. Again, it's annoying that I didn't go to that festival. I missed a very good klezmer band, apparently, as well as an Israeli food stand and a raw honey stall run by Kind to Bees. Okay. So, as well as rules about building Sukkot, there are rules of religious observance. There are rules that say what you have to do with and in them. And these date back to some of the books in the Old Testament. One of the rules is in Leviticus. Leviticus 23, 42 to 43 in the King James Version of the Bible says, "Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths, when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God." And Deuteronomy 16:15, again King James Version, says, "7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord thy God, in the place which the Lord shall choose, because the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thine increase, and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice." One university Jewish site, www.ujs.org.uk, told me that for 7 days and nights, Jews are encouraged to eat all their meals in the sukkah. and regard it as their home, possibly even sleep in it. The site did also say that if it's hard to build a sukkah on campus or to access one, then you could build your own out of sweets, and I'm really not kidding. It mentioned licorice all sorts and gummy bears. I think here they must be talking about a tabletop sukkah. These are apparently used as symbols if you can't build a full-size sukkah. And I think you're encouraged to look at them and while eating and meditate on the meaning of the festival. I've read, though, that these don't satisfy the strict traditional so-called halachic religious prescriptions. So I don't know how many people use them. But this bit about building sukkahs out of gummy bears did seem very odd, and it really is on the www.ujs.org.uk sukkah or Sukkot page. And also, I can't help feeling that gummy bears probably don't satisfy the health and safety regulations for building materials that the Health and Safety Executive in Britain lays down. Anyway, Sukkot is meant to be a joyful time. You're celebrating a successful and glorious harvest, plentiful harvest, I should say, and you're celebrating being led out of slavery and having survived all the tribulations that took place, and having got out of the wilderness too. So happy Sukkot to everybody, and enjoy the meals. See you next time.